what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do two agencies first collaborate and start understanding how each other work, and then move on to develop a legal structure like an MOU or a cooperation agreement? Or do they first say, well, let's put a cooperation agreement in place or an MOU and let's get all of those details worked out, and then we can have a more open conversation about how we should interact? So I'll start with you, Heraclio, and maybe you can just give us some thoughts about what your research showed. And then Nancy, from your experience in Africa, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Well, from my point of view, as you know, this type of document are not news. There are several documents signed by the agency from several years ago, but the most important here is that this type of document could ensure and encourage to develop collaborative activities between agency participants, and be an avenue to adoption of regulatory practice to facilitate and create the trust easily. Basically, because they can feel comfortable in share the information, confidential information. This is the main point, because those documents describe confidentiality clauses.
And just to jump in there, from the company standpoint, is that important to know that these confidentiality agreements are in place between agencies, especially if we think about reliance mechanisms?
Yes, undoubtedly, because the information about the product is confidential. It is not an open information. In the case of new products, new innovative products, or something like that, but it's important to keep the confidentiality.
Great. Thanks. Yeah. And Nancy, what's been your experience with working with individual NRAs and with regional initiatives?
Yeah, thanks, Larry. I think the first thing is about the trust. As you have said, what comes first? Because sometimes before somebody wants to sign, they have to also trust you that you're going to actually keep the information they're giving you confidentially, or you have the capability for them to rely on your work. So it's, first of all, I think it's about building a relationship, and then we can have the signing of the documents come. And I think even the countries that we have worked with, the regional approach has been, first of all, building the trust, bringing them together, sharing ideas, sharing best practices. And with those collaborations, that brings in the trust, and then they can move on to signing and getting any documents that has to go through the legal systems. So basically, the interaction is key to getting all the reliance and the mutual recognition.
Yes.
Mario, any
yes,
thoughts
no,
about that?
I just wanted to say that in my previous life as a regulator, I certainly coincide with Nancy that you have to develop trust first, and it's gradual, and you start exchanging information, and I think that's what comes first. But I think it's a great alternative. This that Heraclio showed, the collaboration and MOUs as a way to go around some legal. It's still legally to proceed, but it allows to facilitate this mechanism that would help improve availability of medicines of reliance. Yes.
Yeah.